So if I have a number one complaint, it would be these cup holders. Let me show you why. This is a standard size 20 ounce Sprite bottle. Doesn't fit. Oh, doesn't fit. Probably like a little can of soda will fit in here, or very small drinks from fast food places, but that is it. Stock exhaust has been replaced with a system by Flowmaster. So this video was titled 2,000 miles in a C4 Corvette. And a lot of you are wondering if that's true. I picked this thing up in Connecticut, just south of Hartford. I drove it from there to Jacksonville, Florida, and from Jacksonville, Florida to Houston, Texas. The mileage actually turns out to be just over 2,000 miles. Now, I'm 6'3", as you can see. I have plenty of leg room, no problem reaching the pedals. The controls are pretty well laid out. Everything is within reach. It's very well thought out, I believe. The later model Corvettes are even better, of course, as you would expect. And the earlier ones are maybe not so much well laid out. The C4s had a couple of changes along the way. The early C4s had a big flat dash with what's called a bread box off to the right over the passenger area, and full digital gauges. Now, when they did the redesign in '92, they went to the gauges you see here, analog gauges with the center digital gauge that is the speed limit, mileage, all that sort of thing. I didn't buy this car for a toy. I bought it as an investment. Good condition C4s are becoming more and more difficult to find. I actually wanted a convertible, but this is what I got. I got the coupe. LT1 is a good engine. It's pretty much bulletproof except for a couple of little minor quirks. The 6-speed transmission, which is what I wanted, is very bulletproof. It's an awesome transmission. The earlier generations had what they called the 4+3. It was made by Doug Nash. Had a little button on the shifter that you pushed, and that put it into overdrive. I intentionally avoided those because they're problematic and you can no longer get service and parts for them. The L98 engine is a good engine. That's what you'll find in the early versions. It's basically a fuel-injected small block Chevy. So going back to the trip, so 2,000 miles. When I picked this car up, it has 55,000 miles on it when I picked it up. Those are original verified miles. It was a one-owner car, belonged to a school teacher. They drove it in the summer. This is what they told me, and I believe it based on the condition of the car. I drove the car from Connecticut to Jacksonville, Florida, and I went to have an oil change done, and I actually broke down and looked at the tires. The date code on the tires indicated that they were made in '94, which is the same year as this car. There's a lot of tread left on them. I mean, they were in good shape, but there was dry rotting, and you know, I was concerned about core separation and whatnot. So I put new tires on it. I got the Nitto 555s Gen 2s, and they've been good. I came from Jacksonville to here on them, and I've been driving around for a couple of days, and they're good feeling tires. Now, I did lose about 1 mile per gallon with the Nittos over the Goodyear Eagle GTs. That strikes me as a little strange, but you know, it is what it is. For the peace of mind, driving down the freeway, not having to worry about a core separation or whatnot, I'm glad to have the Nittos. So, very comfortable car, well laid out, plenty of power. I have no complaints about the power. I think that if you can find a low mileage C4 that's not been abused or not been altered, I think that, and if you can get it for a reasonable price, I think you should do it. That's what I've done with this one. This is basically an investment. Right now, what they're selling for in my area versus what I paid for them for this one, I can make around between $3,000 and $4,000 profit by selling this. I don't plan to keep it. I've already offered it for sale to a few friends. Like I said, it was an investment, and my intention is to flip it and make money. I think that if you can find, like I said, one that's not been beat up and thrashed on, my research led me to a 92 or newer, because by then the issues that they had with the earlier Corvettes had been sorted out, and they had gone to the LT1 and the 6-speed. The auto trans Vettes are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I just prefer a manual transmission. That's just me. So, being as tall as I am, my only issue with this is exiting the vehicle. It's not challenging, but it is not the easiest thing to do. Getting in and out of my Jeep is way easier than this. But once you're in, you're fine, and once you're out, you're fine. The sport top, the Targa top that comes off on the roof, I'll flip this up so you can see it. This one has the clear one. I actually would prefer the painted one, but you know, being in Texas with the heat and the sun in the summer, the painted one would have been a better option. But that's not what came with the car. Now, there are tons and tons of the painted fiberglass ones out there, so it's not hard to find one, have it painted to match your car and put it on. I may or may not do that. We'll see. What else can I tell you about this car? So this car, the only alterations that were made to this car, they changed out to a Hurst shifter, and they put a Flowmaster exhaust system on it. That is it. Other than that, it is bone stock. Even the stereo, which I had to put a little cassette adapter in so I could use my iPod with coming back. Everything works in the car. There's some exterior trim molding that needs to be replaced. It's just dry rotted. The car lived in a garage under a cover, and you know, even so, you know, rubber dries out over time. That's just how it is. The only issue I've had with the car Once I got home to Houston with it, I drove it for a day, and the water pump started to fail. So I had to replace the water pump on it. And that is it. It did not give me a lick of trouble from Connecticut all the way back here to Houston. 2,000 miles. No issues at all. I think I have one light that's burned out since I hit the road, but that's it. Ride quality. This has the sports suspension in it, not the magnetic control suspension, which would have a controller here, but it has the sport suspension, the Z. Oh man, I have to open the console and get the number and tell you, but I've had this on a previous C4 that I had, and it was an early generation with the digital dashes and stuff, and it was rough. Man, it would beat you to death. This one is much better tuned. The entire suspension is much better, and I mean, it handles very well. With the Eagles, it was a little unsettled. Got to change from my sunglasses to my regular glasses because it's getting dark here. The Eagles, it was a little unsettled. If you got on rough pavement, it would kind of pull and just do some funky things. With the Nittos, I don't have that problem. Now, one other quirk, and this is something that I'm going to fix here rather rapidly. The shifting. All right, so as a gas saving thing, Chevrolet designed this so that if you're light throttle accelerating from a stop, it will force you, it won't go into second gear. When you shift from first to second, it will force you to fourth gear. I cannot stand that feature. That just absolutely drives me crazy. So you can unplug it if that's what you want to do. But if you just unplug it, the light on the dash will come on. Or there's an adapter you can get that's like $6, and it plugs in the middle, and that will eliminate they call it a skip shift. That will eliminate that, and you will not have the dash light if you use that little adapter. It's available on eBay, Amazon. You can get it through most of the Corvette specific retailers. It's the way to go. I honestly feel that that is the way to go. So I'm going to do one more pass over here, give you guys just a quick view of the acceleration, and I think that will wrap it up. Very comfortable ride. You can see I'm not being beaten to death or bouncing around, even on camera. That's like half throttle. I'm not pushing it hard at all. The shifter is very positive. Some people say that the Hurst is a little notchy. I don't agree with that. I think for me, it works just fine. The stock shifter has some kind of long throws. The Hurst is not bad at all. I have no issue with the shifter in this thing. spin around up here and do a high-speed run back. And here we go. Oh, as you can see, the power is very linear, smooth. You know, unlike a turbocharged engine, which depends on boost for the power and acceleration, a V8's not like that. V8's power is just kind of a flat. It's like flat on the graph. If you watch a turbo engine, it peaks. It peaks as the boost comes on. But man, the Chevrolet has done a really good job with their V8s. They always have. This is the LT1 is a good design. It was very well thought out. The access for servicing the engine is pretty good. Other than the spark plugs, you do not want to change spark plugs on this thing. But other than that, I mean, it's like I said, well thought out. I think that I've driven the C5, C6 as well, and they are even better than this. However, they're a bit pricey yet. Like I said, I'm looking for the collectors. I'm looking for the guy that always wanted one of these and couldn't afford it, but now he's getting a little older and he's got some free money, and he wants to put it into something that will be fun for him. So I'm up to, let's see, where do we get the mileage? Trip odometer, nope, there it is, 57,698. So almost 58,000 original miles now. And I believe that will about wrap this video up. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.